Listen to what's happening outside right now. Like, how am I supposed to sleep at this coyote party? Is it like the big coyote reunion rager tonight? Like 10 years of coyote time? God, everyone but me is partying this weekend, huh? Friday night. I've been having trouble sleeping recently. I've been having these dreams. Nightmares. I'm not even sure I should talk about it right this second because it's probably gonna scare me, but I keep thinking about it anyhow, so maybe if I talk it out, I'll be able to stop. You know how sometimes when you dream it's really like shallow? Almost, but not quite lucid? Like you're asleep, but you're somehow also aware in your dream that you're asleep. You dream that you are where you actually are in real life. Like you're inhabiting the space you're really inhabiting. I've been having a lot of these types of dreams lately. Last night I was camped next to a little creek. I didn't get to camp until right at dusk, so I didn't get a good look at my surroundings other than, the surface area my headlamp could brighten up. I knew there were big, dark trees with low-hanging branches and heavy brush. Pretty typical next to a creek, I guess. High grass, lots of foliage, Still, it's not my favorite type of place to camp because there's so much noise at night. Animals come to drink from the creek all night long. You might hear footsteps in the grass, twigs breaking, leaves rustling, and everything else. But I was exhausted, so I just sat up and I got in my tent and I passed out. A few hours later, I guess, probably sometime in the early morning, I was dreaming that I was in that little hollow next to the creek. But instead of being far out in the backcountry, which is what it was in real life, in my dream there was a dirt road a few yards away from my tent. And it seemed so real. I thought I was awake. And all of a sudden I heard tires crunching down this dirt road. Big tires. And I was scared. In my tent, I was scared. I was waiting, my hand on my bear spray, another hand on my headlamp, trying to decide if I should, sit up and make my presence known, say hello. The tires got closer and closer, and then the truck stopped right next to my tent, and I heard footsteps land on the ground right next to my head. I froze. I heard a man's voice. Can't camp here. You're too close to the road. And my voice was frozen in my mouth. I was trying to choke out an apology, but I couldn't speak. You can't be here, he said again. And then a knife slashed through the side of my tent, and suddenly the man was inside my tent. I was trying to scream, trying to move, but I couldn't do anything. He climbed on top of me, and I swear I felt his weight on top of my body. He was just a dark shape and a mass, but I swear he was there, and he started to move on top of me, back and forth, like thrusting. And my body and brain screamed and screamed and screamed until I woke up. And I did wake up, but I still couldn't move. I was still completely frozen, panicked, in my tent. No slashes, no dirt road, no man, no truck. Just me. Alone in my tent, in a little hollow by the side of a creek, somewhere in Montana. just like now. Okay, I'm gonna put this thing away and get my light back out. Read some more of this fantasy novel. Throw myself into some other world. Not this one. Hey, this is Monarch. Welcome to the trail. Woo! Another gorgeous day on the divide. I got up super early this morning, and I've been making great time all day. I downloaded Moby Dick on Audible, and I've been crushing through it. One of the great things about doing a thru hike is you finally have so much time to spend reading all of the books you skipped in high school and college because you didn't have enough time. Anyway, I'm on a part of the trail dubbed the Anaconda Cutoff. Helena was pretty uneventful. All I did was call Jules and my mom, sleep for 10 hours, eat a bunch of hot Cheetos, con limon. I stayed in this, just shitty motel right by the Walmart. Got my resupply there. Got a hitch back in the early afternoon from this guy who actually drives Uber. Felt kind of bad taking a ride from him for free, but, he offered. He talked to his wife on speakerphone the whole time I was in his car about what they were grilling for dinner. It was kind of sweet. Just, funny little glimpse into this man's life, his domestic bliss, his meat temperature preferences. So, there are two routes that both count as the official CDT out of Helena. There's the Butte route, which is 200 miles, and the Anaconda Cutoff, which is only 100 miles. Both lead to the next town, which is Darby. I guess I can tell you a bit more about this trail while I'm here. The CDT is kind of an unofficial, choose-your-own-adventure type of trail. Very different than the PCT, and definitely different than the Appalachian. Basically, of the roughly 3,000-mile trail, there's, I think a full almost 1,000 miles that don't have an official trail, or, a single track at least. So it's trail where you either are walking on side of the highway or on a dirt forest road or something like that. There are tons of routes and alternates that are all official trail. And some of the alternate routes, like the Anaconda Cutoff, make the trail a lot shorter. But it still counts as the trail because both routes are official. Does that make sense? The Anaconda route, named because it passes directly through a small town called Anaconda, Montana, has become the more popular route for thru-hikers, mostly because neither route is particularly scenic, supposedly, and this one's shorter. But this one goes through the Anaconda Pintler Wilderness for 40 miles, which is supposed to be really amazing. Thru-hikers on a long-distance trail like the PCT and the CDT, we have some external pressure to finish by a certain time. You can't afford to dilly-dally in Montana on the CDT because the major goal of this trail is to make it to New Mexico before the San Juan Mountains in Colorado become impassable because of snow. Usually this doesn't happen until mid-October, but everyone's predicting an early and heavy snow year, of course, so I've got a little bit of a fire at my heels already. The San Juans are like the Sierras of the CDT. Okay, I'll explain what that means. On the PCT, the highest mountain range you go through is the Sierra Nevada range in California, the same route that the John Muir Trail goes through. You get to climb up to 13.5 maybe feet on the actual trail, and then if you summit Whitney, you go up to 14.3, which is the highest point in the lower 48. So crossing through the Sierras as a northbounder is the biggest obstacle of the trail. Once you're through, your next goal is just to finish, to reach the Canadian border before the snow flies in Washington. But it doesn't come until later up there, late October usually, so most people chill a little bit after getting past the Sierra. As a CDT Sobo, my big goal is getting through the San Juan mountain range in southern Colorado before they get snowed out. It's high elevation up there. The trail stays above 10,000 feet for almost the whole dang state. It's very, very intimidating to think about, especially alone. Unless I make some friends. Is anyone else on this trail? Anyway, so that's my reasoning behind taking the Anaconda Cutoff instead of the longer, Butte route. Anything that can push me forward right now is probably worth taking, especially when both routes are supposed to be kind of equally boring, you know? So now I'm just walking through Cow City on my way to Anaconda. Seriously, I've never seen so many cows. A friend from the PCT, who hiked the CDT, said that the CDT stands for Cow Dung Trail, and I'm starting to understand why. I spend half my days picking around cow pies and getting mooed at. Last night I walked a little into the night past dusk, and this herd of cows started following me, all mooing and stamping their hooves like they were pissed that I was there. It was so, disconcerting. I've never seen cows be so aggressive and territorial. I just started walking a little faster and yelling behind me, whatever, cows, you can keep your gross, smutty pond. Leave me alone. I'm not interested in your grass. And finally, they stopped following me, but it was a lot. Cows are a different breed out here. They're bigger than your classic doughy-eyed dairy cows you'd see in, a petting zoo, and they've got these massive, soulless black eyes. Makes me feel like I'm looking into a pit of hell. They'll just watch me, tails twitching away flies while I walk by. I'm sick of them. Over it. Oh, hey. Only 5 miles from where I'm camping tonight. That means a break. Just gonna sit on a nice, soft cow pie here. Eat some gummy bears. Yee fucking haw. So, this is the shitty part of the cutoff. I'm literally walking on the side of an interstate right now. And the shoulder could seriously not be any smaller. These cars are passing so close to me, it's so scary! But guess what I can see up ahead of me? Golden Arches! Wow, this is truly an unprecedented experience. Magic, pure Continental Divide Trail magic. I'm walking straight toward a McDonald's. I've just been imagining my meal. I'm gonna get chicken nuggets and definitely French fries, maybe a snacker if they have them, maybe a McFlurry too, Oreo or M&M, or sometimes you can do both at the same time. Also, the air conditioning will be a huge thing. I cannot wait to get this pack off of my back and put my feet up. Ugh, everyone's gonna think I'm disgusting. Chicken nuggets, here I come!
Oh there. You may want to slow down.
Sorry, I mean...
CDT?
Yeah.
I figured. You got the look. Sobo?
Yeah, I am Sobo.
Here he goes.
I'm Finn. PCT class of 13. Well, I mean, most of it.
Monarch, Hailey. I did the PCT last year.
And you're out here again on the CDT the next year. You're braver than I am. I liked a lot of things about thru-hiking. Stuff in my face at McDonald's wasn't the least, but I don't know. I miss my bed.
Guess she's got bigger balls than you there, bud.
So, how's it been so far? I guess you're taking the cutoff, so you must have been craving town pretty bad. I know I always did.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it can get pretty lonely out there.
Are you solo?
What?
What?
It's been great. Really.
If you say so. Geez, you really do have bigger balls than me.
Ah, buddy.
What are you up to the rest of the day? Need to get groceries? I mean, we could drive you to the grocery store, the laundromat, whatever you need. And then once you're all kitted out, you should hang out with us. There's a big festival in the park.
It's half van life, hippie douchebags, half old people in RVs, but you take the entertainment you can get in this town. Plus, there's always lots of beer and bud. We make it fun.
Yeah, I mean, okay, sure. That actually sounds really great. I definitely need food. No laundromat this time. I just did it. I promise.
Y'all hiker people really lose sense of cleanliness out there, huh?
Oh, leave her alone. You need a place to crash?
Well, I was looking at the hotels here. They're kind of expensive.
Total rip-off. Jacked up right now, too, because of the festival. Stay with us.
I was just gonna say, I mean, we've got a couch. The bathroom's not spotless, but better than washing up in a creek.
Yeah, it would be nice to sleep inside. Take a shower, maybe.
Great. So you'll stay with us, and Leah will be there too, right, Steve?
Yeah, my girlfriend's coming out to the festival with us and staying over. Girls hang out with us. We're cool. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anytime I meet fellow hiker trash, I pretty much assume they're chill. So, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to tag along with you guys if you're sure it's no trouble.
None at all.
Cool.
Don't hold back getting into your meal on account of us. We'll wait. We'll just observe.
Observe the wild thru-hiker upon discovering a hoard of food. Gorges herself. Look at those cheeks. She can store food for up to 3 months in those tiny pouches. Nature's to-go box.
It's very important in this season of a young thru-hiker's year to be fattening up. She must make sure she has enough food to last her through what's bound to be a long, hard winter.
Yeah, y'all can stop that anytime.
Pop-Tarts? You serious?
What? I love them. And they're so cheap.
But they get all crumpled up and gross in your pack, and you can't even toast them. No toast, no go.
So you just open a tiny corner of the package, and then you funnel the whole thing, all those crumbs, into your mouth. Duh. What, you didn't learn that on the PCT?
Man, toast is hilarious. Like, how did someone figure out that bread tastes so much better when you just cook it twice?
Yeah, I've seen that meme too.
You're a smartass, huh?
You just met me.
I'm getting a vibe.
I'm sorry if my vibe's harshing your vibe.
No, I like it.
So what are you doing in Anaconda anyway?
Well, I read about the nightlife in Lonely Planet, Montana. Kept showing up on top cities for singles under 25. In all seriousness, after I finished the PCT a few years ago, I was just kind of wandering, you know? I wanted to still be on the trail, but I didn't want to actually be on the trail. I wanted to live a lifestyle adjacent to everything I valued about being a part of that community, but I didn't want to sleep in a tent every night anymore, you know?
Trust me, I'm familiar with that sentiment.
Right? So, I started looking for Forest Service work, seasonal stuff, so I could still get months off at a time to travel, hike, ski, whatever. Ended up falling in love with the Pinlers. You're headed out there tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited.
They're so... They're the love of my life. I do trail maintenance out there so I can hang out in the Pinlers every day and get paid for it. And I still get to come home to a bed at night, so...
That does sound ideal.
I can unironically say I'm living the dream. My dream, at least, as small and simple as it may be.
It's beautiful.
So, let me get this straight. Not only are you hiking to Mexico by yourself, but you're interviewing people on that recorder there as you go about scary shit?
Well, experiences with the supernatural.
You're insane.
It's for research. I don't dwell on it too much, so it's fine. It's fine.
Wait, I have an idea.
That's never good.
Never.
Shut up, this is a great idea. You've just been asking people to describe things they've seen, right? Have you actually ever recorded something supernatural as it happens?
No.
Let's go to the asylum.
Oh, no, dude. Let's just not and say we did.
Wait, the one off the one?
Yeah, the abandoned insane asylum off the one. Let's show Hailey.
There's nothing there. It's just off limits and sketchy as fuck to walk around in because it's condemned.
I've always wanted to go.
I'm actually, sorry, Finn. I'm actually really, really, really down to check it out.
Let's fucking go.
Ugh.
Yeah. I was like, I think that's exactly how Dom said it. It's not how he said it at all. Let's fucking go! Wow, I can't believe that Leah chickened out, like, literally the second we got here.
I can. She always tries to keep up with Steve, but the man's a loose cannon.
Well, it was really nice of him to, stay behind with her.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
So what is the story with this place?
In the early days of the American West,
Oh, God.
the frontier days, like most of the country, there weren't adequate resources for mentally ill people. Out here, though, in the middle of nowhere, it seemed easier for everyone to just lock them up. This wasn't an asylum, not really. It was a prison, and all the prisoners had life sentences just for the crime of being different.
Yikes. Well, were there any, mysterious deaths or disappearances?
I mean, honestly, not that I know of. It's really just a place that was really sad. So when it shut down at the turn of the century, no one wanted anything to do with it, so it just sat here, rotting away. A few years ago, they officially condemned it and put up the fence, but, kids from town, teenagers mostly, still come here to graffiti and smoke weed and hook up. Teens and Steve, whose passion for this place has somehow never gone away.
Now that we're here, I'm actually so glad to hear that it's not actually haunted.
Not a bit. Not a bit. Hey, were you ever gonna ask me my scariest story?
Yeah, I was planning to ask you that.
I'll tell you.
Right now?
I mean, you leave tomorrow. When else?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let me just... Okay, shoot.
So, I was raised in Northern California, Santa Cruz, right on the beach. Spent most of my childhood and adolescence surfing, Wasn't much of a church kid, except when I was 12. My crush, Sarah Lockheed, invited me to a lock-in at her church. Do you know about those?
Oh, yeah. Lock-ins. Oof, went to a couple myself. What a weird concept.
Right? Like locking a bunch of 12 and 13-year-old boys and girls into a gym and having them sleep on the floor on opposite sides of the room would never be in any way traumatizing or weird to them as they got older.
Right?
Something about that experience, I don't know, stuff really just sticks with you. Anyway, it was my first one, only one. I remember we played a bunch of games early in the night and listened to a speaker talk about sexual immorality, lust.
Wow. Amazing idea, church leaders.
You're telling me. A bunch of 12-year-old boys sleeping within mere feet of a bunch of 12-year-old girls. The air was thick with rampant hormones that night. I mean, you could feel them floating around in the air.
Gross.
Exactly. So, lights went out. Me and 3 or 4 other boys gathered in a little circle, whispering to each other, pulling our sleeping bags over our heads and giggling whenever one of the leaders went by. We talked pretty much all night. We told scary stories, bragged about athletic accomplishments. Eventually, the conversation just turned to sex, like it always does. And, especially after that talk we had earlier, I think we all felt even guiltier and grosser talking about it than we usually did. Probably because we were inside a church. But we couldn't stop ourselves. We told each other everything, every little morsel we had individually uncovered about the mystery that was women. Cringy to think about, but we were all just sitting there in the dark, divulging our deepest desires to each other in the misinformed, illiterate, disgusting way of 12-year-old boys.
I mean, yeah, this scares me, but I'm not sure it qualifies as a scary story.
I'm not done, okay? I'm not done. So eventually, we all kind of drop off to sleep. I feel this kind of gnawing guilt in my stomach as I'm falling asleep, but it passes. A few hours later, I wake up. All my friends are asleep. The whole room is dark and silent. And I hold my breath to see if I can hear Sarah Lougheed on the other side of the room, breathing. I'm picturing her lying there in her sleeping bag, within reach if I want to. And then, all of a sudden, I hear this whoosh. It sounds like air is moving up in the rafters above me. I look up and I see this thing, something, a figure, crouched on a rafter 40 feet above us. It looks, human, except it has these huge pointed ears and wings, black and massive, like a moth's wings, adjusted to a human body. And it's looking at me with these white eyes, staring right at me. I was petrified, and I did the only thing a 12-year-old could think to do. I pulled my sleeping bag over my head, and I squeezed my eyes tight, and then I heard that sound, the whoosh again. So I dared to stick my head back out and peek, and the thing was gone. But I saw it. I couldn't have imagined it. I saw that thing, and I've never been quite able to unsee it.
Wow.
Yeah. When I got older and was rewatching X-Men, I realized that that image of a creature in the rafters is straight up lifted from Mystique in the church in X-Men 2. But alas, at the time, I thought I was seeing a physical manifestation of my sexual sin staring at me.
Jeez, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna like picture that bat thing every night from now on.
Hey, you're the one asking for scary stories.
Yeah, but like, I didn't expect that long ass thing about like sexual repression and God.
Everything's about sex or God.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to sound more societally acceptable, you could say everything is about love. But it doesn't really matter what you call it. Everything we do in this life is trying to get closer to either God or sex or love. Depending on who's looking, that feeling, that love, can be found in all sorts of places. Some people find love in an early morning surf, sitting out there on the ocean. It's just you and the sound of the waves out there, all alone, out so far that you begin to see the curvature of the earth. Another type of person, they find love in Sunday morning church, community with their friends, a hug and a kiss on the cheek, where everyone knows your name and how you take your coffee. Cream, no sugar. And another type of person seeks love in a nightclub, dancing, feeling a body pressed up against you, music running through your veins, making you lose inhibition, brief, meaningful connections, flesh against flesh.
I think I'm the surfer type.
Do you surf?
No.
See, you're the nightclub type. I think. Your love is tinged with danger, a little bit reckless, a little bit lonely. You like shelter sometimes, but you prefer the night, the whirling, rushing storms, and to feel small inside of them.
You met me today.
I know it when I see it.
No, I don't want this. Sorry.
Sure you do. You've been making eyes at me since McDonald's this morning.
Making eyes. These are just my eyes.
Come on, you do.
No.
You're serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
God damn it. Okay. Wow.
What do you mean, wow?
Seriously?
What'd I do?
You can't. You can't hang out with someone all day and go to a haunted insane asylum with them and expect nothing to happen. You're fucking crazy.
I thought you said it wasn't haunted.
You're lucky I'm a nice dude. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa.
Just a word of the wise, Hailey Halpern. You're way too old to play this dumb. Grow up. It's not cute to be a tease anymore.
Okay, can we just go? I'll sleep in the yard. I just want to get out of here. I want to go to sleep.
I'm trying to help you.
I'm really tired. Can we just go?
Fine. Let's go.
They said I didn't have to actually sleep in the yard, but I literally just want to leave as soon as possible tomorrow without seeing any of them, without seeing Finn tomorrow. Why is it you can't win with men? Ugh. Not even passing the Bechdel test. In my own audio diary. With men, it's either you're standoffish and then you're rude. You're a prude. And you have to just be lonely. You can't make any friends. Because what if they're into you? Just in case. You can't be friends. So if you make the friend and you go to the haunted asylum, which wasn't haunted, by the way, but then you're not interested, then you're a tease. Which is... Anyway. And God forbid you do say yes, and you do the thing, and then you've got another dumb, stupid slut on your hands, and who wants that? You can't win. I almost, I wonder sometimes, I think there's this, cutoff. Some barometer of hotness that if, you're above a certain threshold, then anything you do is fine. If you're slutty, then you're not slutty. You're liberated, libertine, worldly. Like you're a sculptor or something. You're the lady that dudes write love songs about. You're a muse. But if you're a tease, but you're hot, then you're the spunky heroine, the girl next door, hard to get, the prize. This girl you want's his whole life. And if you're a prude, but you're hot, then you really, really get it all. Because you get wifed up right out of college. You never even have to do the whole song and dance with them. You get to opt out because you're hot. I must have just missed that cutoff of hotness because it seems like everyone wants me, but also that everything I do is wrong. I do C when I should have done A. I do X when I should have done Z. I'm a tease when I should have been... I hate the stupid Bechdel test.